Welcome to the channel. This time we're going to try and track down the Rover 213S that featured in Keeping Up Appearances, a BBC sitcom of the early 90s. I thought this was going to be something really easy to do. Turns out it was so complicated I think even Sherlock Holmes would have picked up his violin for inspiration, so stick with us, it's quite a ride. Okay, let's get stuck straight into it. Now, Keeping Up Appearances, for those of you that don't know, was a popular early 1990s sitcom, and it featured in its main character Hyacinth Bucket, or as she preferred it pronounced, Bouquet, who was a determined social climber, and her general plans sort of came to failure, which is where the comedy came in. Alongside her was her long-suffering husband Richard, and it's his Rover 213S that we're going to try and track down. Now, in the programme, the car featured two different number plates. In the first series, it was D541EXL. Now, for those of you that have been with us for a while, and if you haven't, please do click the old subscribe button. You'll know that the XL suffix is one that was used by TV companies because it was not generally available after 1963. So we know that one's a fake plate, so we can discount that straight away. But then we move on to D541EFL, which was the plate featured from Series 2 onwards. And I needed to do, my usual Googling and, searching the internet. And I came across this post on an old friend of ours, Jonathan, which features a picture of the car. But below it, there's an interesting comment from Applemeister. Now, I'm not sure where he's got the information from, but in that D blank 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 EFL series, the last one registered allegedly was 322. So obviously we're looking for 541, which is a lot higher. And that 322 was registered on the 30th of July 87. And 2 days later, you get the E prefix come along. So that does all sort of hold water, that description of sequence of numbers. So something not quite right there. So let's move on. We find the fandom page for Keeping Up Appearances. Now, interesting, they've got a story that D541 was actually sold in 2018 to a collector in the Leicestershire area in the UK for about £28,000. Now, that car without any provenance is only, a really good one at that time was probably only worth a couple of thousand. So that's quite an incredible amount of money. But the other interesting thing is they put a note on there that there's no records of its existence on DVLA. And I've dated this page using the Wayback Archive, and this page was created in 2020. So something's not quite right here. Now, the other one, just to dispel a third registration number, is this one, which is E542EFL. Now, this often gets mistaken for the Keeping Up Appearances car. I think it's just a complete red herring. It's got a similar number, but obviously a different prefix. So I don't think this is anything worth following up. So I thought was my next step, I'll go over to our partners at My Car Check and see what they've got on D541EFL. And look, it's risen like Lazarus from the TV screens to the highway. It exists. And I went, what's going on here? So if we scroll down a bit, we find it had a previous registration number of F340CCL, and that was only changed over in May 2023, so just sort of 6-7 months ago. Now, I thought I'd do some searching on that car to see where that's been and see if there's any overlap. And on Flickr, I found posts by Lee Allen, who purchased the car back in July 2020, and it's only done 48,000 miles, and he paid £1,700 for it. Now, that car had a little bit of exposure because Project Nigel YouTube channel that you can see here, they did a review and drive of the car, and so it's been about a little bit. Lee Allen then posted, I think for the last time on that car in July 21. But interestingly, we go back to My Car Check, we can see there was an owner change in August 21. So I'm guessing that's when Lee Allen sold it. It's then changed hands again in March 23, which is a couple of months before the plate was changed. So I'm assuming the most recent owner is the one that's put that plate on it. And interestingly, going back again to Lee Allen on Flickr, he's posted literally just a few days ago that he's purchased another similar Rover, and commented below it there was no trace of his original car. Lee, in the unlikely chance you're watching this, I've found it, and it's had an upgrade. It's become Hyacinth Bouquet's car. What an incredible promotion. So this is all a bit higgledy-piggledy really. We've got D541 EFL in the right colour, right car, but not the original one that was in Keeping Up Appearances. That exists. And we've got a mystery car, we believe somewhere in Leicestershire in the UK, that in 2018 was sold for £28,000, but we haven't got a registration number or clue. So I'm quite probably as confused as you are. But I hope that's given you a little bit of entertainment, and if it has, please consider to give that subscribe button a bit of a click for us.